Welcome to the world of science fiction stories, and don't forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Enjoy the listening. The galaxy dumped their junk on us. So we built a silent nightmare. The massive alien ship darkened the sky as it approached Earth's orbit. Its hull was scratched and dented, bearing the marks of countless space battles. This was no diplomatic vessel or trading ship, it was a garbage truck. Captain Jack Reed watched from the observation deck of Orbital Station Echo as the alien vessel opened its cargo hold. A cloud of space junk tumbled out, broken engine parts, twisted metal panels, shattered computer cores, and other bits of technology Reed couldn't even name. "Another delivery from our generous galactic neighbors," he said dryly. Lisa, his second-in-command, stepped beside him. "Third one this week. The Galactic Council must be cleaning house." Reed nodded. 10 years ago, when humans first achieved faster-than-light travel, they'd been shocked to discover they weren't alone in the universe. Even more shocking was learning their place in the cosmic order. Earth wasn't invited to join the Galactic Council as equals, instead, it was designated as Disposal Zone 7, the bottom of the interstellar hierarchy. "Start the collection drones," Reed ordered, "and tell Marcus to prep the sorting bay." In the 3 years since Reed had taken command of Earth's largest orbital scrapyard, he'd learned to make the best of a bad situation. The aliens might see Earth as a trash can, but Reed saw opportunity in every piece of discarded technology. Marcus Gray, chief engineer of Echo Station, whistled as the sorting conveyor brought in the latest hull. His thick hands, calloused from years of mechanical work, picked through circuit boards and power cells with surprising gentleness. "Well, what do we have here?" he murmured, holding up a small hexagonal device. It was barely larger than his palm, made of a dark metal that seemed to drink in the light. When he turned it over, faint blue lines pulsed across its surface like veins. He set it aside in a special container that already held 6 similar devices found in previous deliveries. The container was marked "Whispers," named for the faint, almost inaudible hum the objects made when placed near each other. In her lab 2 decks below, Dr. Morris frowned at her computer screen. Something wasn't adding up. She'd been analyzing the junk deliveries for patterns, looking at which alien species delivered what and when. The data showed something strange. "Computer, display all deliveries from the Arcturus sector, last 6 months. The screen filled with dates, ship IDs, and manifest listings. Emma's eyes narrowed. Why would the KR battleships be dumping navigation systems? They're at war with the Dovan Republic, they should be keeping every advantage. She pulled up another file. And why are the Dovans discarding quantum shielding units during the same conflict? A knock at her door interrupted her thoughts. She looked up to see Reed standing there. "Got a minute, Doctor?" he asked. "Actually, I'm glad you're here," Emma said, gesturing to her screen. "I think something weird is happening with our trash deliveries." 2 hours later, Reed called an emergency meeting in the station's secure conference room. Present were Lisa, Marcus, Emma, and Tom Blake, the station's security chief. "I believe we're being used," Reed said bluntly. "Dr. Torres has found patterns suggesting the alien garbage drops are too organized to be random." Emma nodded. "Certain technologies are being systematically discarded by multiple species, often components that should be valuable to them. And there's this." She displayed a hologram showing the hexagonal devices Marcus had collected. "These components all connect to each other, creating what looks like a network. But they've been delivered by 6 different species over 8 months. That's no coincidence," Blake said, his security training making him instantly suspicious. Marcus scratched his beard. "Those whisper devices give off energy readings unlike anything in the Council's published tech catalogs. Why dump advanced tech on a backwater planet like ours?" Reed's communicator beeped. "Captain, we have an unauthorized shuttle approaching Docking Bay 3, came the voice of the station's traffic controller. Blake was on his feet immediately. "Security teams to level 3. The alien who emerged from the shuttle was tall and thin with pale blue skin and 4 arms. It wore no council insignia or species markings. "I am Vex," the alien said in perfect English. "I must speak with Captain Reed immediately." Privately. After a thorough security scan revealed no weapons, Reed agreed to meet with the visitor alone. "You have been collecting the Whisper nodes," Vex said without preamble once they were behind closed doors. Reed kept his face neutral. "I don't know what you're talking about." Vex made a sound like gentle laughter. "Please, Captain. I helped design the delivery schedule. Certain factions within the Council have been working to help humanity without the others knowing. Why would anyone on the Council help us? They treat Earth like a cosmic landfill." "Politics," Vex said simply. "The Council is not united. Some of us believe humanity has potential, others fear that potential and work to keep you weak. The trash designation was their idea: keep humans busy sorting garbage while limiting your access to advanced technology." Reed leaned forward. "But you've been hiding technology in our garbage?" "Precisely. Technology the Council banned centuries ago. Technology that could change everything." "What exactly are these Whisper nodes?" Vex's forehand made a complex gesture. "They are components of a detection system that operates on principles your scientists haven't discovered yet. When properly assembled, they can hear the movements of ships across vast distances, see through cloaking fields, detect communications thought to be secure." Reed's mind raced with possibilities. "Why give this to us?" "Because war is coming, Captain Reed. The Council majority has decided Earth has too much potential and too few defenses. Some want your resources, others want your labor. None plan to ask permission. And what do you want?" Vex's alien face showed something like sadness. "Balance. Change. For too long, the old species have kept the younger ones down. Perhaps it is time for that to end." He handed Reed a small data crystal. "This contains location data for 12 more Whisper nodes, disguised and hidden in upcoming deliveries. There are also basic assembly instructions." "Why would I trust you?" Reed asked. "You shouldn't," Vex replied. "But verify my claims. Study the nodes you've collected. Your Dr. Torres is already seeing the patterns." After Vex departed, Reed sat alone for a long time, turning the data crystal over in his hands, thinking about whispers in the dark and garbage that might save humanity. That night, Reed called his most trusted crew to a secret meeting in the station's maintenance level. From now on, he told them, showing them the crystal and explaining his meeting with Vex, "We have a new priority. Every delivery gets thoroughly scanned for these Whisper components. If what the alien says is true, we're talking about building something the Council explicitly forbids," Blake warned. "They already see us as trash collectors," Lisa said. "Maybe it's time to show them what humans can build from garbage." Reed looked around the room at his team. "The choice is yours. This could be dangerous." Marcus picked up one of the hexagonal devices, watching the blue light pulse across its surface. "Danger never stopped humans before. I say we build this thing and see what whispers we can hear." One by one, they all nodded in agreement. In the darkness of space around them, more alien ships were already approaching, their holds full of trash, and hidden within, pieces of a weapon that would change the fate of Earth forever. 3 months after meeting Vex, Captain Reed stood in a hidden chamber deep within asteroid BX 722. The large, hollow rock had once been an abandoned mining operation, now it served a new purpose. "How's it coming along?" Reed asked as he approached Marcus. The chief engineer looked up from the strange device he was assembling. 37 Whisper nodes now formed a complex pattern across the floor of the chamber, each hexagonal piece connected to others with thin beams of blue light. "It's talking to itself," Marcus said, wiping sweat from his forehead. "These components recognize each other, like they want to be together." Reed nodded. The data crystal from Vex had led them to more of the Whisper nodes hidden in trash deliveries. Each new piece they added made the network more powerful. And what exactly is it doing? Reed asked. Marcus shrugged. That's still M's department. All I know is that it's creating some kind of field that extends far beyond this asteroid. In another section of the asteroid, Emery stared at screens filled with data. Behind her, a wall displayed a three-dimensional map of nearby space. Small dots of light moved across it, ships traveling through the solar system. Look at this, she said as Lisa entered the room. Lisa approached the display. Those are Council patrol ships, right? Yes, standard patrols that pass through our system every week. Emma tapped a few keys, and suddenly new dots appeared on the screen, smaller, fainter. And these are ships that shouldn't be there at all. Lisa's eyes widened. Cloaked vessels. The Whisper network can see them. Emma nodded. It's picking up ripples in what Vex called subspace, the layer of reality ships use for faster-than-light travel. Nothing can move through subspace without creating ripples, and the Whisper network detects those ripples. Like seeing the wake of an invisible boat, Lisa said. Exactly. And it gets better. Emma zoomed the display out to show a much larger area of space. We're picking up echoes from as far as the Arcturus sector. The network hears every whisper between the stars. Fleet Admiral Diane West was not easily impressed. As the highest-ranking officer in Earth's defense forces, she had seen her share of scientific breakthroughs, but what Reed showed her that day made even her stern face show surprise. You built this from alien garbage, she asked, walking around the Whisper network that now filled the asteroid chamber. Yes, ma'am, Reed replied, with help from an alien informant. And you trust this Vex? I trust what I can verify, Admiral. The network works. It sees what our sensors can't. It hears what no one else can hear. Admiral West stopped walking and faced Reed. Do you understand what you've done, Captain? You've built an intelligence-gathering system beyond anything the Council has allowed us to have. If they find out, they'll destroy it. And possibly us along with it, Reed finished. But we need to know what's happening out there. Vex wasn't wrong about one thing, the Council members don't all have our best interests at heart. After a long moment, West nodded. This operation is now classified under Black Star Protocol. Official support, complete deniability. Tom Blake sat alone in his security office on Echo Station, reviewing footage from a Council inspection ship that had visited that morning. The lizard-like aliens had spent hours searching the station, claiming they were looking for prohibited technology transfers. They had found nothing, of course. All the Whisper components had been moved to the asteroid base weeks ago, but the timing of the inspection worried Blake. His computer beeped. It was a secure message from one of his sources in Earth's diplomatic corps, Council requesting permission for expanded military exercises near Saturn, the message read. Unprecedented fleet size proposed. Blake frowned. Why would the Council need military exercises in Earth's solar system? And why now? They're tracking our movements, Reed said during the next team meeting at the asteroid base. Blake's report confirms they're suspicious, but they don't know about this place. The inspection team found nothing, Lisa said. Maybe not, but they're not stupid, Marcus added. They've delivered this tech to us piece by piece. They must suspect we're doing something with it. Emma brought up the space map, now showing a large collection of dots near Saturn. Council ships are gathering for exercises, but the Whisper network is picking up unusual communication patterns between them. They're searching for something. Reed turned to the newest addition to their team, Kate, a linguistics expert who had been analyzing the alien communications captured by the Whisper network. Any progress decoding their secure channels? He asked. Kate pushed her glasses up. The Council species use different languages, but I found patterns in their communications. They keep referring to something called protocol silence, and they're specifically looking for technology signatures that match our whisper network. The room fell quiet. So they know, Lisa said finally. Reed shook his head. They suspect, but they don't know. If they knew, they'd have come directly here. What do we do? Marcus asked. We keep building, Reed decided. But we need to be smarter about it. Emma, can you find a way to mask the network's energy signature? Emma thought for a moment. The whisper nodes absorb energy rather than emit it, that's why they look dark. If we build a proper housing for the network, we might be able to contain what little emissions there are. Do it, Reed ordered. And Marcus, it's time to think bigger than just a detection system. Marcus raised an eyebrow. What do you mean? Reed walked to the center of the room where a holographic projector showed the growing whisper network. Vex's data suggested the components were originally designed for a ship, not just a detection system, but the core of a vessel that could move through space undetected. A stealth ship? Blake asked skeptically. More than stealth, Reed explained. The whispers don't just detect ripples in subspace, properly configured, they might be able to manipulate those ripples. Kate looked up from her console. Captain, I just decoded more of their communications. They're not just searching, they're preparing something called containment protocol for Earth. Reed's face hardened. Then we don't have much time. Admiral West needs to see this. Later that night, as the rest of the team slept, Reed stood alone in the chamber with the whisper network. The hexagonal nodes pulsed with blue light, creating patterns like stars in a private galaxy. He placed his hand near one of the nodes, the blue light seemed to reach for him, bending toward his fingers without quite touching them. What are you? He whispered. As if in response, the lights pulsed faster, and for just a moment, Reed thought he heard something, a sound just at the edge of hearing, not words exactly, but a presence. The Council announces expanded military exercises near Jupiter and Saturn beginning next week, the news flashed across screens all over Earth. Most humans paid little attention, Council ships had become a common sight in the solar system. But at the hidden asteroid base, Tom Blake watched the announcement with narrowed eyes. Military exercises don't require 73 ships, he said to no one in particular. Reed nodded. And they don't need ships designed for planetary assault. The Whisper network had grown powerful enough to identify ship types based on their subspace ripples. What the Council claimed were routine exercises were actually invasion craft. How much longer until we're ready? Reed asked, turning to Marcus and Emma. The two exchanged glances before Marcus spoke. The frame is almost complete, but we still need the core components for the propulsion system. Vex's data mentioned special drive units, Emma added. They should be in the next garbage delivery, if the Council doesn't cancel it. Reed's communicator beeped. Captain, there's a message from Admiral West. Priority 1. An hour later, Reed met with his core team. His face was grim. Earth governments have enacted the Shadow Protocol, he announced. All defense forces are on high alert. The Council's exercises have been recognized as the threat they are. About time, Blake muttered. What does this mean for us? Lisa asked. It means we get full resources, Reed said, and a deadline. We have 10 days to make this ship operational. 10 days. Marcus sputtered. Captain, that's impossible. We've barely finished the outer hull. Earth doesn't have longer than that, Reed replied firmly. Admiral West has seen the latest Whisper network data. There's a massive fleet assembly happening beyond Pluto. The ships near Jupiter are just the advanced force. The room fell silent as the reality of the situation sank in. We'll need more people, Emma said finally. Reed nodded. Each of you pick your best 3 people from Echo Station, people you trust completely. We bring them here tonight. 3 days later, the asteroid base hummed with activity. 27 people now worked around the clock, assembling what had once been trash into humanity's most advanced vessel. In the main construction bay, the ship was taking form. It was unlike any human craft, sleek and black, its hull seemed to drink in light rather than reflect it. The shape was oddly organic, like a predator from the deep ocean. Marcus supervised a team mounting the last of the whisper nodes into a spherical chamber at the heart of the vessel. "Careful with that," he shouted as a technician nearly dropped one of the hexagonal devices. "Each one is irreplaceable." Nearby, Emma and Kate worked on integrating their findings into the ship's systems. "The Whisper network isn't just a detection system," Emma explained to Reed as he checked on their progress. "It's a way to move through subspace differently than normal ships." "Different how?" Reed asked. Kate looked up from her computer. "Normal ships punch through into subspace, creating those ripples we detect. But these whisper nodes, they slip between the layers of reality, like a ghost passing through a wall." "A ghost ship," Reed mused. "More like a shadow," Emma corrected. "It moves through the dark places between stars without disturbing them. That's why the Council banned this technology. A ship like this could go anywhere, hear anything, and never be detected, unless you know exactly what to listen for." "Which the Council does," Reed finished the thought. On the 6th day, the garbage delivery they were waiting for finally arrived at Echo Station. Blake personally supervised the collection and sorting, finding the drive components hidden among broken engine parts from a Krell battleship. By the time he returned to the asteroid, the Council had announced that their exercises would be extended and expanded. "They're stalling," Blake told Reed as they rushed the components to Marcus, waiting for their main fleet to get into position. "Then we better hurry," Reed said grimly. On the 8th day, disaster nearly struck. A Council scout ship changed course unexpectedly, heading directly toward their asteroid. "They must have detected something," Blake said, watching the approaching dot on their screens. "Shut down all systems," Reed ordered. "Everything except life support." For 60 hours, they waited in near darkness as the Council ship passed within 50,000 kilometers of their position. Only the Whisper network remained partially active, its components absorbing energy rather than emitting it. "They're moving away," Lisa finally reported. Reed breathed again. "They didn't see us, but they were looking for something. We're running out of time." On the 10th day, Admiral West arrived personally to inspect their progress. The ship, now named Nightingale after the Earth bird known for its beautiful song in darkness, was nearly complete. "It doesn't look like it could stand up to a Council destroyer," the Admiral observed, walking around the Nightingale's sleek hull. "It's not meant to," Reed explained. "The Nightingale doesn't fight conventionally, it moves where other ships can't go and sees what they can't see." West nodded slowly. "Our intelligence suggests the Council will begin their actual invasion in 3 days. Will it be ready?" "It has to be," Reed replied. That night, as final preparations continued, Reed found himself drawn to the core chamber of the Nightingale. The Whisper nodes now formed a perfect sphere at the heart of the ship, pulsing with blue light. As he approached, the light seemed to reach out to him, just as it had done before. "What are you trying to tell me?" he whispered. This time the response was stronger, not words, but impressions, danger, urgency, and something else, a sense of recognition, as if the technology itself had been waiting for this moment. Reed placed his hand near the sphere, and the blue light danced around his fingers. In that instant, he understood something crucial. "You were made for us," he said softly. "The people who created you, they knew we would find you." The lights pulsed in what almost seemed like agreement. Behind him, Lisa cleared her throat. "Captain, the crew is assembled. We're ready for your briefing." Reed turned, a new determination in his eyes. "Tell them the Nightingale launches in 12 hours. We're taking her out for her first test flight." "So soon?" Lisa asked, surprised. Reed nodded, looking back at the Whisper core. She's ready. And I think she's eager to fly. The council believed they had given Earth nothing but trash. Instead, humans had built something that whispered in the dark, and soon those whispers would become a roar that would echo across the stars. Final systems check complete, Lisa reported from her station on the Nightingale's bridge. All whisper nodes are operating at full capacity. Reed nodded, settling into the captain's chair. The bridge was unlike any on a standard Earth vessel. Instead of screens and control panels, WhisperTech interfaces glowed with soft blue light. The walls themselves seemed alive, showing the space around them as if the ship's hull were transparent. Engine status? Reed asked. Ready, Marcus replied from the engineering station, but I still don't fully understand how they work. These aren't engines in the normal sense, they don't push or pull, they slide. Weapons? Reed continued. Blake frowned at his console. We have standard defense systems, but they're almost an afterthought. This ship wasn't built primarily for combat. No, Reed agreed. It was built for something else. He turned to Emma. Detection range? Emma's eyes widened as she read her display. It's impossible. We're picking up ship movements across half the solar system. I can even detect communication signals from Council home worlds. Then it's time. Reed took a deep breath. Helm, take us out. Slow and steady. For a ship cobbled together from discarded alien tech by human engineers with minimal understanding of its principles, the Nightingale moved with surprising grace. It slipped out of the asteroid's shadow and into the void. No alarms from nearby Council ships, Blake reported. They don't see us. Increase speed, Reed ordered. Let's see what she can do. The Nightingale accelerated smoothly, reaching speeds no human ship had achieved inside a solar system. Yet it produced no exhaust flare, no radiation signature, no detectable emissions of any kind. We're approaching Jupiter, Lisa announced. Council military exercises are ongoing in this sector. Perfect, Reed said. Take us closer. I want to see if they can detect us at close range. The Nightingale glided silently toward the massive form of Jupiter. Around the giant planet, dozens of Council ships maneuvered in what appeared to be battle formations. They're practicing planetary approach vectors, Blake observed grimly. Invasion patterns. As they watched, a Council command ship emerged from behind one of Jupiter's moons. It was massive, easily 10 times the size of the Nightingale. Hold position, Reed ordered. How close are we? 50 kilometers, Lisa replied. Well within their standard detection range. And they've got no idea we're here, Reed said, a slow smile spreading across his face. Let's see what else this ship can do.